ever felt like you were not projecting confidence, or perhaps you were showing weakness when you were speaking to other people? Perhaps this could have happened in a professional setting. Perhaps it happened at work. Perhaps it happened in your business. And you feel bad about it, but you just don't know what you could do. Well, today is your lucky day. I'm going to share with you several statements that I want you to immediately stop doing, because these statements themselves will actually show that you are not projecting as much. Sorry, I had to fix my hair. That you are not projecting that confidence you need to. So absolutely stop doing these statements. Stop it. Don't do this. Make sure that you are in a place where you are projecting confidence at all times. So I have these statements written down. These are some common statements that many people make that show that they're not confident. These statements will automatically indicate that you're not strong and that you perhaps are on the weaker side in terms of how you are speaking. And I want to make sure you avoid these mistakes because they can cost you a lot. They can cost you career advancement. These words can actually cost you your ability to negotiate a higher salary. They can cost you the ability to advance in your career and make that bigger impact that you are looking for as a woman in leadership. So I want you to stop doing this. These are the words that will make you sound weak. And I will go through them and provide you with as much insight as I can. For those of you watching the replay, feel free to let me know where you are joining from and what questions you may have about how to really build your confidence as a woman in leadership. If you just so happen to be outside of my audience of women in leadership, welcome, welcome. I'm glad that you are here spending a few moments out of your day with me today. You are so welcome to ask me any questions as it relates to confidence, executive presence, and leadership. I will provide you with over 20 years worth of experience that will absolutely increase your ability to advance in your career significantly just by attending these particular events. Now, if you are new to me, my name is Dr. Jacinta Lamontai, and this is a great opportunity for you to learn what you can do to set yourself apart as an individual. So if you're ready, let me know in the chat that you're ready. If you're watching the replay, let me know if you have any questions, and we're going to go ahead and get started with this particular live. Now, one of the things or topics I want you to consider as it relates to these situations, because when you appear more weak or maybe not as confident, what happens oftentimes is there's a mixture of things that happen. So you have your body language plays a factor, how you speak plays a factor, and your overall just appearance plays a factor. And so I have several videos on my channel that specifically talk about body language and appearance. But today I want to focus on specifically what you're saying and how you're saying it that can project that sense of not being as confident as you normally would be. Now, the first statement I hear a lot of people say, and this statement here is something I want you to stop doing and really reprogram yourself to say something differently, is I don't know. So many people will say, I don't know. And there's times when, in all honesty, you may really legitimately not know what the answer to a question is. That's completely fine. What you can say in place of I don't know is what you actually do know. So focus on the topics, the statistics, the relevant talking points that you do have some insight on as it relates to a specific question or a specific topic. And so this is a great way that you can rephrase I don't know if you would like to change this around, or perhaps you've said I don't know. Place it in the comments below. Have you ever said I don't know? I have said I don't know. So I want to know if you have said I don't know. What you can say is the following. When you don't know the answer, you can easily say, I am confident in the information that I have received about this specific topic and this specific topic's impact on the organization, your business, or etc. These are things that are very important. I do have some knowledge about whatever I don't know is, and I want to talk to you about how we can really enhance our operations. So I hope you saw what I did there. I acknowledge I have no idea what I don't know means, or I don't know enough about it to speak about it confidently and knowledgeably about it. But I was able to at least say that I do have some knowledge of a particular topic, but let me share with you what I do know. So always when you have those situations that come up, reposition yourself in a different scenario to where you are speaking in a more affirmative tone so that you are not projecting a sense of not being confident when you are speaking to other people. So we talked about one statement. I'm going to share with you another statement, and I have these written down. Many of you know, as a public speaker, I do not like to use notes ever, but because I wrote these down and I don't remember all of them off the top of my head, I do want to make sure I share them with you. So the next statement I had listed was I'm not sure. I'm not sure actually comes up quite a bit too. So oftentimes you're not sure and you don't know. And so I'm sure is a statement that will make you appear weak, that will make you sound like you're not confident. So what can we do about I'm sure? I would use a similar strategy as we were discussing about I don't know. So I would focus on what you do know. What are you sure about that will be very helpful to other people as they are trying to elevate themselves or deal with a particular situation in the workplace. So you might want to say, I am sure, or I am confident, I know, I'm aware, I have found out, I have learned, all of those very affirmative words that really focus on what you actually do know. So I'm not sure is one that can make you appear weak, but there's ways for us to be able to try to go around that particular statement to sound more positive. So if any of this information is helping you right now, feel free to place it in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. This is a great time for you to subscribe to the channel if you are finding some value in what I'm sharing with you today, and to like the video and share it with a colleague that is really serious about trying to elevate their leadership, executive presence, and skills so they can advance in their careers. Now, I want to go into another statement that will oftentimes make you appear weak or not as confident as you would like to be. Are you ready? That statement is, I think so. I think so means you probably don't know. And you want to try to rephrase yourself from saying, I think so. And the reason being is that when someone says they think, thinking is your process in terms of how you're coming up with information. Therefore, if you are thinking, that means you're not finished processing, and that means you probably don't know what it is specifically you're talking about. So you want to try to avoid I think. You might want to say I am researching, or I am evaluating, or you can say I am reviewing, or something along those lines that sounds a bit more affirmative instead of saying I think so. I think so is the code word for saying I'm not exactly sure, I don't know. So this is something that will make you sound less confident and appear weak, and I want you to try your best to rephrase your mindset and not do that. Also, my next statement is this okay? Is this okay? It sounds very simple, right? Is this okay? Is this okay? It sounds simple, but this particular statement will actually hinder you when you are trying to project confidence. Is this okay? You're basically asking a question. And the way you're asking the question is that you're getting validation from someone else when you probably should know the answer. And when you do that, it means what? You don't know. You don't know. And as I mentioned, you don't want to come across as you don't know. You don't have to know everything, but you can at least be able to talk about what you do know and then always follow up with the information you don't know at a later date or another time. So saying, is this okay, is basically asking for permission for someone to say, this is what I think you should do, when you probably have the answer to those questions. So is this okay is a question I'd recommend for you to stop doing if it's something that you feel like you've been doing quite a bit. And this will prevent you from sounding confident, and it will make you appear weak. Now, I do want to have a couple more that I wanted to share with you in terms of statements that I want you to immediately stop doing now. No more, no more. That will cause you to look like you're not confident, look like you're weak. I don't want that. Now, another statement that people say oftentimes is probably. probably is a statement that means just that. When you think about probability and statistics, depending on what type of discipline you've been in, the word probability itself means guesstimate. It means we are trying to figure it out. It means we do not know exactly what will happen. And this in itself can be very, 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 very challenging. So I want to say probably is a word you would like to take out of your vocabulary when you're talking about certain things, especially when you're in front of a group of people, you're in a business meeting, or perhaps doing a presentation. Probably means that there's some guesswork that you're trying to figure out, and that in itself will show that you're not confident and may appear a bit weak when you're talking to other people. Now, I do have one more statement, and I want to share with you a bonus that you will definitely want to know about as it relates to this topic. So if you are ready for the bonus, let me know I'm ready for the bonus, and I will absolutely share it with you in just a few moments. Now, my last statement that I wanted to share with you that I wrote down is I believe. Now, I believe itself is not a bad statement. It absolutely is not a bad statement. It depends on the context of saying I believe. I believe in an affirmative way. For instance, I believe that my subscribers are awesome. I believe that my channel is growing. I believe that things are going to work out. Those are more affirmative statements. However, if you're saying it in a way that sounds like a question and you are not quite sure, then I believe can turn against you. And instead of being something that is very affirmative, it will be a statement that shows that you're not confident and you may be coming across as weaker than other people. What can you do about I believe? You want to talk about what you know. The biggest mindset shift that I would encourage you all to think about as it relates to these topics is to consider what you're saying before you say it. So if you know that I don't know is a very common part of your speaking and your language that you use, then let's work together to try to help you to stop thinking about I don't know so that you don't say it as much. So focus on what you know. Focus on the strengths, the areas of your career or your profession that you are intimately aware of, you know, like the back of your hand, you are expert in, and focus on those strengths. If there's something you are truly not sure about, that's okay. We don't have to have the answers to everything, but I do want to share with you that there's ways to go around it so that you feel a bit more confident and you look like you are not a weak leader. Now, I promised you a bonus. Now, I want to know from you in the replay, you ready for the bonus? Are you ready? Now, this is something that happens oftentimes that people don't talk about. Now, I will say that this itself is a game changer. Are you ready? Because I told you I was going to give you at least 20 years worth of advice in a short amount of time to expedite your growth. And specifically what I mean by this is when you are asking a question, your voice tends to go up at the end because that is the way we designate a question is being asked because there's a question in our voice at the end. Now, if you are communicating with a group of people consistently and you're pretty much always saying a question at the end of your statement, even if it's something that's affirmative, this itself will cause you to look like you are not as confident as you need to be. I'll give you an example of this. So let's say we're having a conversation and I said, is the business proposal completed? Then you could say, okay, that sounds like a great question. That's a question. Or what if I said, I completed the business proposal? Okay, I said it in a very regular way. What if I said it this way? I completed the business proposal? Then it sounds like, did you complete the business proposal? Or did something else happen? That inflection, that very slight inflection at the end of your voice should be only designated for questions, not for statements. If you say it in a statement, it will make the person who is listening to you think that you do not know what you're talking about and you're not confident, and it will make you appear as if you are a weak leader. So you want to avoid that. Inflection is so important, but let's use it in its proper places, not where it does not need to be. When you're making a statement, you need to make a statement. Imagine that statement with a period at the end of it, not with a question mark, because a question mark is just that. It's a question mark. We're not sure. We're uncertain. We don't know. We have no idea. So I want you to try to eliminate those from your vocabulary. And if it's something that you're struggling with and you just naturally talk that way when you're trying to make a statement and it comes across as a question, then contact me at info@exciteexcellence.org. I'd be happy to help you and give you some really great strategies to help counteract that and do something different. So for those of you who are just joining, welcome, welcome. Glad you all are here today. I just shared with you several statements that I want you to stop doing. Stop doing these statements right now that will make you appear not confident and will make you look like you are a weak leader. Okay, so I'm going to go over those very quickly and I'm going to read them very fast because I wrote them down and I don't remember all of them off the top of my head. The first is I don't know. Don't say this statement. Second is I'm not sure. Don't say this one. I think so. Don't say this either. I believe. We talked about the believe. There's differences in beliefs. So you have to watch the replay to figure that out. Is this okay? Try not to say this one. And probably is a word I want you to stop saying so that you do not appear as if you're a weak leader. And the bonus was using your tone of voice. So I hope this information has been amazingly helpful to you. Feel free to like this video if you found some value here. If you learned something today that's going to help you be able to be that amazing leader that you want to be. I do want to share with you all that I have a very, very exciting event that's coming up very soon. It is on Monday. I cannot believe it is on Monday, March the 31st. It is a executive presence and communication mastery live coaching session. The session itself is going to be from 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You do not need to stay for the entire 3 hours of the event. The purpose of it is for you to be able to ask questions, gain some insight from other women in leadership, and to help everyone learn and accelerate in their careers and master these specific topics. Now, I will share with you that everyone that participates in the event will have access to the recording regardless of what type of admission you decide to choose. You all will have access to the recording. So come, take a moment, ask a question. If you have any burning questions, scenarios that you just don't feel comfortable talking about, or there's some challenges that you're facing right now in your career and you need some guidance in terms of how to move forward, then come ask your question, go about your work day, and feel free to look at the recording at another date because it will be available to you. Now, there are some bonuses and some perks that come along with being a VIP admission for this particular event. You will have the opportunity to have access to the recording, which everyone will have, but you will have a 15-minute one-on-one call with me. You will also have the ability to access the Executive Communication Masterclass that I hosted that will provide you with some fantastic insights for you to keep in mind so that you can communicate at that higher level in your career. You will also be able to have your questions asked first. So you will be on the fast pass, or I would say priority, as it relates to asking your questions. So if you come in and you have the ability to ask a question and we have other people that are wanting to ask a question, because you're a VIP, your question will be asked first. So this is a great benefit for people that are VIP and these individuals are very, very busy. This will help you out also. In addition to that, you will have the ability to ask me questions in advance. If for some reason you cannot attend this event and you need to ask a question, I will answer your question during the event and I will send you the replay with a timestamp of your specific question so that you can fast forward or go around and go to your question so that you have what you were looking for from the event. This is exciting. This is a once-in-a-lifetime event. I don't know if I'm going to host this again. It really just depends on the number of people that are engaging and participating, but I will say that the spots are filling up very quickly. So you want to sign up as soon as possible because the VIP slots themselves are limited because there's only a certain amount of individuals I can work with on a one-on-one basis, especially for the 15-minute calls that we will have as a part of your VIP package. And you're going to get a lot of support, a lot of great insights. If you are very serious about your transition as a leader, perhaps you're just starting on your leadership journey, You might be in the middle of your journey as a leader in the mid-career, or you may be a seasoned executive that is starting to notice that there's more to life, or there are some challenges that are happening in your current role and you really need some support to figure out what to do or what you might want to pivot and change. Then this is a fantastic place for you to learn over 20 years worth of experience from a C-suite executive and a director, a public speaker, and an executive coach that will automatically transition you to that higher level. So keep in mind, in 3 hours, you're going to learn over 20 years worth of experience and knowledge that will help you move forward. And I hope this information was helpful to you. I'm looking forward to seeing you all in the event next week. The description is below, so make sure you take a look at that. It's got everything that you need to know about it, and the registration, the general admission, the VIP admission. It is going to be a life-changing event for those women in leadership that are very serious about making this change in their lives. I'm looking forward to seeing you all very soon. And if you have any questions in the replay, feel free to let me know, and I will be able to respond to you and provide you with some additional support. And I hope to hear you all soon. Have a good day. Bye for now.